Hello, another live stream. This week is pretty unique because I have a little bit of time that I can invest on the recording and filming, so this week is very unusual for me that I can be online so many times. But from now on, I would like to try to be online on Wednesday, every Wednesday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. I cannot promise that I'll be there all the time, but I will try to be there and I will update. If I cannot, I will just say that I cannot on my website or Instagram. I think it is very important for me to be online periodically and when I make appointment. So today, since I have another hour or so to invest in the live streaming, I would like to talk about a few things. One is how to draw another Sashiko pattern, so-called Shippou patterns. The next thing is there was a request to show how we do Kasane in the actual project instead of just practicing it. I rarely do Kasane since in this age we can just put lining back fabric. So I happen to have the project right now which is ongoing, so I'm gonna show that. And the last thing is, this is pretty common questions too. What is the side of the fabric? Do we stitch from the back side of the fabric, or do we transfer the patterns on the right side and the front side of the patterns? So I will talk about that a little bit. So there will be 3 topics today, and after that, if we still have time, or if we still have viewers who'd like to ask me questions, I will do my project. I'll do just my project. So, well, there's no such a thing as right side and wrong side in my definition, so I'm gonna just use the back side of the fabric and the front side of the fabric when I talk about that. Alright? So let's start with how to draw Asanoho patterns. Not Asanoho patterns. Asanoho patterns, which I like the best. You can take a look at the previous live streaming. I explained how to draw that. So this is right. Oops. Okay. So this is how to draw Asanoho patterns. Nah, I made a mistake again. How to make Shippou patterns. Shippou means 7 treasures. It's like a lightning, not lightning, it's like a light. Enlightenment from the Buddha. People probably saw that, and then it looks like the patterns. So this is the this is how this is the tutorials. Actually, it is a tutorials how to draw Asanoho patterns. You have to have some sort of plate, round plate. We have that in stock, so I will update it my website, the web store, so you can get it if you like to. But you have to have a plate which has a complete circle. So if you don't have it, you can make it from the cardboard with the compass and the actual scissors. But you need those like a blue circle plate. It doesn't have to be blue, but I do have those circle plate. I will explain that more later, but you need those circle plate. Just a second, I have to make it fit. So first you make the line in the center, and based on that center you make a circle by using the plate. There we go. And after you make a first circle, you shift it by 100% to the right. It's pretty self-explanatory. It explains by itself. You have you draw the line to just measure to line everything. If you use the grid pattern sheet, you don't even have to have the first horizontal line. So this is the key. I mean, the key is to have that circle. So I have those in stock inventory, so I can just list that after this live streaming. Or you can just make it with the even like a card stock or cardboard with a compass and cutter or scissors. I mean, you don't have to spend money on that if you don't want to. So you keep drawing the circle. I used the ball pen initially, but it didn't come up well, so I changed the pencil, but it didn't come out well neither. So after that, you shift the circle with 90% left, I mean sideways, 90% sideways, and 90%, I mean not 90%, I'm sorry, 50% sideways and 50% horizontally. And I'm sorry, I'm not explaining well. You gotta shift the circle 50% left or right, and also 50% right or down. So you will make 4 circles with the one center circle. It is self-explanatory. It does explain, right? Like you can see the circle, you can see the pattern already. This is how we draw these Shippou patterns. It is very difficult to explain that in like in sentences. I tried, but it didn't go well. So I just decided, well, let's film it. And you just keep drawing that. So one circle have 4 circles on each corners, and you kind of keep doing that. Make sense? I hope it does make sense. You can leave the comment if you don't understand what I'm talking about. I'll try to explain as much as I can, but again, English is not my first language, so I have a little bit of limitation to explain that. So you just keep doing that. It takes a lot of time to draw that, so if you have, well, even if you have a pattern already and using a transfer paper, it takes some time too, so if you don't want to have any circle plate, well, then you might want to get the patterns and then transfer paper. I have another video explaining how to transfer the pattern, so you can use that. All right, I'll just change. This is my finger. Why am I here? Just a second. No, that's not what I want. Just a second, okay? This. Is not still. Okay, this should be good. So next is. Would you like to see that again? No, it's okay. This one. Oh, so this is the circle plate I talked about. It's in the package. You will have, I believe there was 7 of those, 7 sizes. I believe the price was about $20, I guess. But by having those, you can draw any kind of, like, a lot of patterns, not any kind, a lot of patterns besides Shippou with using this fabric. Not a fabric, come on, with this circle. Okay, I will explain now about the kasanes on the actual project. Instead of making like a jumping, instead of skipping those stitches, we stop the thread every time it meets the thread. So those small edge, small tail of thread, it means like I made kasane. And if you have a question, what is kasane? Please watch. It's overlay stitching, and to stop this sashiko stitching instead of the knot. I explained about kasane pretty thoroughly last time, like yesterday. So please watch that if you have a question about that. And I will wash this one a bit. After that, I will cut all the tails, all the thread you see on the back side of the fabric. Then this is the apron, by the way. This is the vintage apron, but this apron can be beautiful on the front side and also the back side. So this is the role of kasane. Instead of making the knot everywhere, we make kasane and then we cut the thread, like even small tails off. Then it looks kind of perfect on the both sides. It can be, it's not gonna be as obvious as having the knot on the back side of the fabric. This is another information. The last one is the third information is what is the front side and back side of the fabric. The indigo fabric we sell, it's kind of difficult to tell which is front and which is back because both looks beautiful. But some, let's say denim has like apparently front side and back side, and many fabric has the back side and front side too, but it doesn't matter. You just decide which is the back and front. And we make stitches, we make sashiko stitches from the back side of the fabric. So back means the side you will hide after you make the stitching by putting the fabric on it or lining the fabric. Or if you want to use both sides, you gotta do the kasane to make both sides beautiful. And there is I don't want to use like a different terminology, so I'm gonna just stick with the saying the back side and the front side. People sometimes say wrong side and correct side or right side. I would not call that because the back side means just back side, doesn't mean the wrong side. So either back side and front side or hiding side and finished side. So finished side means the front side, the side people see that. The hiding side is the back side of the fabric people will not see because we put some lining or back fabric on it. I hope it makes sense. So today, as just a sample, I'm doing this Shippou pattern. So this is the back side of the fabric or hiding side of the fabric. You draw the Shippou patterns, or you can just transfer any kind of patterns. Then you stitch, and the side you're not looking at right now, the opposite side, which is the front or finished side, will be the side your customer or you will see. I will make a stitching after this video with these patterns. I have it here, so I will make a little bit of example. But that's my explanation about which is the front and which is the back. I would like to avoid calling them right side and wrong side because that kind of confused me. But I will show that again. So this is the explanation about the circle plate, and then after the circle plate explanation, you will see the actual project with Kasane, which will explain what is the back side and what is the front side. And after that, I am drawing the Shippou patterns on the back side of the fabric. And after this video, I will actually demonstrate how to make Shippou stitching. Okay, I hope Does it make sense? If you have any questions, please leave the comments so I can follow up. Otherwise, after this, after making Shippou, I will just move to my current project. Which is just jeans. So this is the back. Wow. This is the front side. This is the finished side of the apron that I'm working. There's no thread tails. That's this back side. That's the hiding side. However, since I made a lot of kasanes, I can cut all the thread tails off after I wash it once or twice. So you will see, like, I want to make it both side sort of finished side, although there's the side obviously which is front. And I sometimes do not do kasane when I can just put the lining or back fabric. And for that purpose, and of course there's the other purposes, but for that purpose we stitch from the back side of. We look at the back side of the fabric and make stitches, and then you flip it to show the finished side of the fabric. Okay, let's do that. Where can I go? There we go. The video quality is not still good. I'm expecting to receive the webcam tomorrow, this weekend, so should be better next time. Is this okay? So this is the back side of the fabric. This is the exactly same pattern, not a same pattern, same fabric I introduced right now, and then we make a stitching on that. So this is the back side of the fabric, and this is the front, and this is the finished side. When you don't want to clean this side, you can put some like lining back fabric. But usually here, this side is the finished side. Again, this is the front side, and this is the back side. So I'm stitching with looking at the back side of the fabric. I repeat the probably same thing, but this week is a little bit unique for me. I have a lot of time. I had actually extra time to invest in this live streaming. I usually don't have that much time over the weekdays, so but I like to be online as much as I can. So um, I cannot promise it, but I will try to be online. I'll try to do the live streaming on Wednesday at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. I know this is not the best time for the people in US. People work, but I have also time that I can do while my daughter is in daycare, and I have to pick up her at 4. So technically speaking, that's why I have to say 2 to 3:30. But I like to try to be online on that time and try to not to be online besides those times. Or if I can do more online tutorial, or not a tutorial, online live streaming, I'll announce that. But as of now, I would like to do the English online Sashiko streaming broadcasting on Wednesday at 2 p.m. for like probably 1 hour, an hour and a half at most. If you have any like a request of the date, I can shift. It doesn't have to be Wednesday, but that's about the time I probably can work on. Oops. I didn't think about it much, but that was not a good. I made a mistake. I'll show you the mistake later. So again, this is the front side of the fabric, and this is the back side of the fabric. The mistake is here. I was not supposed to cross this. Not a support was not supposed to. There's no rules in Sashiko stitching. I can do whatever I want, but it will look more beautiful if I didn't cross it. I didn't even think about it. But at the same time, if you're making like a bigger bigger piece, you can cross it. It's not gonna be significant when you see the whole big picture once you finish it. And if you want to use the both side as the finished side, then you might want to do kasane to stop the fabric. Like this. After you make kasane, then this pattern is really secure. It will not go anywhere. It's not really good. No. That's one example. And this was the back side, and this was the front side. Right? Okay, after this, I will do a bit of just my project. If you have any questions, please leave the comments so I can answer that. Otherwise, I will probably talk about. I didn't bring the theme today. Well, I might just finish the live streaming soon. Let me think. I can work on the jeans and think about it. I'll think about it. This project is just this making Shippou Pattern Sashiko stitching on the jeans. You can make Sashiko stitching on denim, or it doesn't have to be cotton. Any kind of fabric is great. So I actually take this as the custom order. So this is like a more like sample making, but it's gonna be really beautiful. I mean, cool, I would say. And again, I am looking at the back side of the fabric. It is easier for this because this is obviously the back side of the jeans, denim. And if you are the beginner and if you really want to, you might want to check the front side from time to time if the stitching is as equal, as even, as beautiful as you wish. It's kind of troublesome for me right now to do that, so I'm not gonna even check it. I'm a little bit tired today, so I'm very quiet. If you want me to talk, give me some question. Give me the topic, so I will talk about that. A bit of. Oh, I learned a new word. Porky? I'm kind of slow today. Is porky a good word? I don't even know. I just learned that recently. And tomorrow is the weekend, so it's gonna be pretty busy. I'll take care of my daughter all day. She's very energetic and very talkative for the 3 years old, I guess. So she's not even 3. She's very, very logical. More logical than I want her to be. So it's sometimes very difficult to, but it's of course good to spend beautiful time with my daughter. I used to be a stay-at-home dad, and my goal was to keep her in the house, like homeschooling her until she turns 3. I failed miserably. As much as I love the time, time with her was a little bit too much. I think I'm a control freak, so being a stay-at-home father and control freak was a little bit too much. So then I started working a bit as the Sashiko artist. I started receiving the job, so we decided to let her go to the daycare for now. So it has been a year, less than a year. She started going when she was almost 2, so it's almost a year that she started going daycare full time. We tried a bit, like a few days of part-time daycare. It worked okay, and she seems to like the friend in daycare. So yeah, It's better than me sticking with my shenanigans and suffer together than sending her to the daycare and so she can play with a friend. Am I just mumbling, or do you hear that? I mean, you don't have to even hear that, but yeah, yeah. Ah, another information is that next workshop I got some inquiries, questions about when is my next workshop in New York. Uh, I will be there. I will be in New York for sure in in the summer, either July, possibly July or August. And I'm thinking it might be possible to do to offer the workshop in April or May. It really depends on how many people I can get in advance before the workshop advertisement. So if you are interested in taking my workshop in New York, please let me know so I can make a list. And if you're interested, the more people interested, the more chance that I can offer the workshop in New York in springtime. The reason I'm not doing any workshop in February and March is that I would like to use this time to prepare the online workshop, which I've been working since last June, last July. It is really, I need a lot of preparation for that. I would like to deliver the as good experience as possible to come to New York and take my workshop. So it is taking a lot of time. But again, some people, not everybody can come to New York. It's too far, it's too expensive. So, but the online workshop still requires my attention to everybody's posture, fingers, and work. So it's not gonna be like a webinar. I don't want to make the webinar or the feed. You can just watch my live streaming and learn out of it. But for the workshop, I'll spend my I'll spend time, like specific time for you to review all the questions, and I'll evaluate your stitching, and I'll just make sure that you get what I'm talking about 100%. So that's the difference between my YouTube channel and the workshop. Not like I have not met any single non-Japanese who knows how to use this thimble thoroughly. So I strongly recommend to take my workshop to let me look at how you do it, um, to maximize the Sashiko experience. Of course, you can learn that without the workshop, but I think it's a good idea to take that. All right. I think that's about it. That's 4:30. I'll go back to the. Well, after I finish this much thread, I'm gonna stop it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching the live streaming. I'll come back. Let's say on. As I said, I'll come back on next Wednesday at 2 p.m. I'll bring the topic, but it might be just me doing the stitching like this. But I will bring the topic to talk about. That'd be great if you could join it, and if you could leave the comment, that would make me easier to keep talking. Well, let me just finish this one. So today's live streaming, I talked about how to draw Asano patterns, and I talked about what is the what is the actual example case of Kasane. And lastly, I talked about how to, what is the back side and front side of the fabric and how to make the stitching from the back side. After those small tutorials, I kind of did my project. That's pretty dangerous. That's something. Alright, I'm gonna finish soon. Thank you so much for watching the live streaming or the archive of live streaming. I'll come back to the online next Wednesday at 2 p.m. for another hour or so live streaming about TBA title. I will think about what I can talk about. Right. Have a good weekend. I'll see you later. Thank you. Bye.